It's time to hit the road with our next big truck camper adventure. But before we do, we have to get our reflection ready for storage and the winter months. We're so happy to get our truck fixed after our accident just in time for our trip.
She's back.
Which we started 2 days later than planned.
I'm ready to get back on the road so I can just quit working on the camper every day.
I have zero plans for the next 2 months. I didn't think today was going to happen. Cody works hard to get Old Smoke ready to hit the road for a couple of months as well. We may have destroyed our drone because our list of things that we needed to do wasn't long enough. Then Cody surprises me with a couple of bike accessories to help us tell our bikes apart. And he did pretty good. Yay! Thanks to the sponsor of this video, LECTRIC.
Good morning. It's going to be another beautiful day here in Arkansas today. And while we've been doing a lot of work, this is the week where the rubber really hits the road. We got to get this fifth wheel ready to go. We're going to have it put up here for a couple of months while we're out in the truck camper. We're going to start by washing the trailer, and then we're going to spend a lot of time getting this thing ready to go because we have to worry about things like bugs and mice and critters and things like that. And we're probably going to see our first frost by the time we leave and our first freeze. So we're going to want to get this thing ready for cold weather storage. Tomorrow, we finally take our truck into Duck's Body Shop to get this ugly bedside replaced. That's going to get done this week, and if everything goes to plan, we're going to get our truck back on Friday, and we're hoping to roll Saturday morning and do a lot of miles and head west. I just can't take it to the body shop as filthy as it is, so we're going to wash the truck.
If the amount of paint on my hands is any indicator as to how hard I've been working, I've been working really hard. There's paint everywhere and on everything.
All work and no play makes Cody and Angela kind of grumpy. So we're going to take these bikes out, but first we have the exact same model. And why is that? Well, I had a black bike last time and I really wanted a different color, and Ange wanted the same color I did. So it just kind of worked out that way. But I wanted to give her a little surprise so we can tell them apart a little easier. So I got her a pink bottle holder and a cool little duck that squeaks. Let's see what she thinks. Come see what I did to your bike.
Yay!
Water bottle holder.
So pretty.
And a little duck.
Aww. What a little guy. It's a horn.
He had sunglasses, but they fell off.
All right, now I'm ready. Needless to say, we love our electric bikes. It gives Cody more comfort in something that he loves to do. It took something that I used to dread into something that I now enjoy. Take advantage of our link in the description for the best time of year to buy for the best deals and lots of free accessories. From the lightweight to the full frame to the trike or an off-road bike like ours. They're great for all activity types and a great quality for a good price. And you know we checked that first, right? That little one. Oh, it's so cute. You can't feel any of these bumps.
You can't feel anything.
Smooth like butter.
This is rough. The cows walk in the wet ground that it's just kind of a constant bump as you ride through it. I mean, I see the shocks moving, but I don't feel a thing. This is killer.
You know the great thing about riding through the pasture?
What's that?
If you forget to put your kickstand down, there's always something that'll hit it and knock it in for you.
There's a bunch of grass that'll get it for you.
think my paint's probably dry. I need to get back at it.
You have to admit though, has this made bike riding fun for you?
Yeah.
Quick update on the truck. Body shop just texted. They just installed the hubcap, which is awesome because it was rattling like crazy.
No more noise.
So they did put it through final inspection today. They didn't have to replace the whole bedside. They were able to straighten everything out. They said it's going to look new and it goes in for paint tomorrow. And he found the 2 spots that I'd done the touch-up paint on. He's going to go ahead and repaint the whole thing for me.
Oh, that's so nice.
So it's going to look new again, Mama. Oh, but here's the fun part. And we got to get into all this later. This is a whole different YouTube conversation. You know how on the dually fenders on the bottom they have like that extra bit of like clear coat, like that plastic thing? It's a rock guard that when rocks throw up from the front tires and hits the fender, it's supposed to, it saves the paint. It's like a little clear sheet thing. Geico wouldn't pay for that. I'm like, just, we need it. Just do it and put it on my bill. It's maintenance day, it's pushing 90 degrees, and it is getting hot in Arkansas, but luckily I got some shade trees because I have a lot of things to do to the truck today. We have put so many miles on, over 4,000 miles in the last 30 days alone. And as you know, we're getting ready for our big truck camper adventure, and we're gonna put a lot of miles on going out west. So I wanna get all of my preventative maintenance stuff done on the truck before I leave. I took care of the transmission service last week, and the first thing we're gonna do today is service this rear differential. Be really careful with our brake lines. So really all we have to do here is take all these bolts out, crack this loose, let it drain. I got some silicone gasket maker, make us a new gasket, fill it up, be good to go again. Now what I like to do here when we get down to our last few bolts is just to loosen them off so we can pry this cover back and try to let most of this fluid drain out and not just dump it everywhere. There she goes. I don't see any white milky stuff in it, so no water contamination. That's good news. And let's get a look at it. Oh, looky there. What we're looking for when we get in here, we're looking for any kind of damaged teeth on our gearing. And that all looks great, which it should at 35,000 miles. And we're looking for metal shavings either in the oil or in the pan, and I see none. This all looks really great. So all I'm gonna do now is let this continue to drip while I go clean up this cover, get a bead of silicone on it, make a new gasket, put her all back together.
Wow.
You know what you're looking at?
That's pretty crazy.
It's a sexy rear end, isn't it?
Black mine. Well, I'm gonna go get sweaty and painty, so I'm gonna smell too. So nanner, 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 nanner.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get to hang out at the same time. Full disclosure, my RTV silicone did not work this time. Now, I went to an old gas station in a very small town in Arkansas. I'm not sure it wasn't expired. I took the old gasket, did a really good inspection. Looks good to me, looks new, no bends, no cracks. The metal's solid, it's in a good shape just like it should be. So I did something I've never done before, and I reused the old gasket because I can't get one. And for our warranty, we keep all of our receipts. I keep a maintenance log on my Excel spreadsheet. So if for some reason I have a warranty complaint and they go, let me see your service records, I can send them receipts, a maintenance log, and the video. And you guys will vouch for me, right? We got to make sure we get our oil sample for Blackstone. Let's collect a little bit of this here. All right, let's get this filter out of here. If you have a Ram truck, and I'm sure they make these for almost any truck, if your oil filter screws upward to the block of the motor, you need one of these. I'll show you why. A viewer gave me a recommendation on this little oil filter tool right after I bought this truck. It made sense to me, so I bought it immediately. And look at that. Oil filter's out, no mess. Before you put your new filter on, make sure the gasket came off the old one. And you can see this one, there is no gasket right there. Which means the old gasket's still on the motor. Why is that important? If you put a new oil filter on with that old gasket on there and double gasket it, it's gonna leak like crazy. There it is. And now 3 gallons of Rotella T6. It's time. That's about 22,000. I think the book says 20. First time I did it at 10 or 15 and it looked new, so maybe 20 is the number. Good as new. So this time I got air filter, both fuel filters, oil filter, and I got an extra oil filter because when we get back from out west, this thing's gonna be due for a service immediately. And best for last, fuel filters. So this is where I'm gonna leave you guys for tonight because we got another day of work tomorrow.
There she is.
She's back.
Shining like a diamond.
Looks good to me. Once again, Garrett and the guys at Duck's Body Shop saved the day. Old Smoke is looking new again. Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate it, Cody. As always, buddy.
As always, about once a year.
Yeah, once a year. I tell people all the time, come see me every 2 years, and you're get me every one. So
That's all right. If you guys are down in the Arkansas area and you need extremely good body work done, make sure to stop in at Duck's. Thank you again. And that's going to put us in a position where we can hit the road on schedule this weekend. She's back home and all is right with the world. However, I have some notes to share with you guys on our insurance claim process with Geico. Spoiler alert, not happy with Geico. I'll get into that a little later, but for now I'm just going to bask in the glory of having my truck back and say a big thanks to our friend at the ranch that always lets us stay here and even let me borrow his farm truck this week so we didn't have to do a rental car. Came in really handy because we needed a truck almost every day. So what they ended up doing, they ended up not replacing the entire bedside. That was the original plan. Now that estimate was going to be somewhere around $9,000. But when they got into it, they figured out on the Rams, they have a lot of room to work behind the bed, and they were able to body repair it and do it for like half the price. I think the total bill came out to like $600 or $700. They ended up cutting the price in half, cutting a lot of time out of the labor, getting the truck back to us a little quicker. If you're coming through, if you can get it here, bring it here because it will look new when it's done. Ideally, tomorrow's Saturday, we wanted to leave out on Sunday. I have to finish a solar install. We have to find some place to go dump the tanks out of the reflection. The reflection has to be made ready to sit for a couple of months. We've got bleach water in the water lines that I still have to flush out. And we still have to load this thing.
There's no doubt we need another week here. But I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to get back on the road so I can just quit working on the camper every day.
It'll be fine.
It always is. So our experience with Geico was less than great. Now we've moved a lot, and generally when you move to a different state, you're kind of forced to change insurances. Even if you're staying with the same company, you have to get a policy written in another state. In most cases, at least in our experience, that's been the thing. So we've had a lot of different insurance companies. We had Arkansas Farm Bureau back in the day. We had State Farm in Illinois and Minnesota. We've had Progressive, which we really liked State Farm and Progressive when it came to having claims. They both pay out really quick. There's very little hassle, and it's just kind of worked really well. Now, a couple of years back, after all the COVID craziness and the prices of everything going up, our Progressive rates went up for no real reason, so I shopped everything around and ended up moving over to Geico. The price was better, the service is not, and this is the first time we've had to use it. The communication was really poor. This claim was in process for about 2.5 months before we actually made it to the body shop. The body shop did a great job keeping Geico informed of what was going on, but we literally landed at the shop and didn't have an approved estimate. I had to make numerous phone calls. Then there was confusion on where the check was going. It was just kind of a mess, and honestly, I talked to a different person every time I called in. I got different answers, I got conflicting information. Now, luckily, I had kept a lot of notes of who I talked to, on what date. I had some emails and things like that, so I was able to say, no, John Doe, I talked to Jane Doe a week ago, and this is what was said. We have dash cam video showing we were sitting still and somebody crossed the yellow line and hit us. We have people in the construction zone that have videos of the same thing from different angles. We have a police report saying we're not at fault. We've got all the information off of the adverse vehicle and all of that good stuff, and it still was nothing but a pain. So I'm definitely going to reshop insurance in the next year. You may have a different experience if you're dealing with Geico from a different state, or maybe you have an independent agent that you're working with that takes really good care of you. So I'm not saying don't go get Geico. I'm just saying from our standpoint, based on our one experience with the claim, we're going to fire Geico.
Something to ask when you're shopping for insurance. If it's not at fault, do they go ahead and pay you out before they get paid from the other company? Because in our opinion, if you're paying for full coverage, how long it takes them to get money from the other company is not my problem. That's why we pay them a service to work.
You know, as much as this insurance costs, they're supposed to work for me, and I don't feel like they worked for me. I feel like between myself and the body shop, we did more work to get this claim resolved than the insurance company did.
And we'll be honest in saying we both are very intolerant of lack of communication. We feel like if there's anything they can do, they can communicate, period. So that's enough of that.
We are loaded. How long?
30 minutes.
Really, including tie downs. Nice. So we've got our new torque lift anchor relocation system on our nice, shiny, new, freshly repaired dually fender. Well, it's definitely not going to interfere. You got a solid 2 or 3 inches here. I mean, you can just nearly make a fist under it. So it's not going to hit, but I'm going to have to readjust all of them. Now, in theory, once I get these set, I can just mark it and forget it. Now, these fast gun tie downs have a spring-loaded deal in here to where it will allow them to flex a little bit, because what you don't want is to have just super tight pressure to where the camper has no give. These anchor points are mounted to the frame, but they're still mounted to the frame. So it needs just a little bit of give to where it doesn't rip those anchor points out. But this is pretty good, and we'll do a short drive and check them just like we always do.
So an upgrade that Cody did was to get a longer cord that would actually reach, and it was a point of concern. It was one more thing for us to watch, getting pinched in here, and it barely had room. So it kind of became a stress point.
Yeah.
This just alleviated that.
Well, I bought a 6-foot 7-pin extension cord thinking that I needed it because it would just barely reach. But what I've found is if you get the truck camper totally on, totally set, and totally tied down, for us, the factory cord fits just perfect. So right now I don't need that extension cord. I'm just going to hang on to it in case I do. Where are you going? Let's take that truck.
I forgot. The plan was to leave Saturday. We figured out pretty quickly after being here that Saturday wasn't going to happen. So we gave ourselves a goal of Sunday, which is tomorrow. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
We may have to hang out a little bit.
I think we could get all the truck camper stuff done. And I'm sure if all we had to do was get the reflection ready for storage, we could get that done. I don't know that we can get both things done. Probably when it's all said and done, a half a day of running around to get all our supplies and get all of our stuff done, get the sewer tank dumped. So that doesn't leave us a whole lot of time to work this afternoon.
And we're here at the UPS store for 2 very important reasons.
Yeah, one of them is a very annoying reason. I ordered solar panels on Amazon and they sent me a child's table and chairs.
So I have to return the $40 child's table and chairs, or they're going to charge me for another set of solar panels because they've already sent the replacements. And I might have crashed the drone earlier this week. It's got a big old crack in it.
Oh.
Wiped out. Gimbal's busted. Luckily, I purchased DJI Care when I got the drone. I never buy extended warranties, but I knew at some point we were going to crash it. And it covers crashes and even flyaways or sinking in the ocean or whatever. Issue is, with some stuff going on at customs, it may be like 3 months before we get our drone back. So I wanted to mail it lickety-split and sit and wait.
It's Sunday morning. I have 0 plans for the next 2 months. Nothing booked. I have an idea of where we go next. We're doing a little bit of winging it. A lot more winging it than I planned to do on this trip.
Well, we kind of know where we're going next. We're going west.
We're going that way.
We're going that way. A long way that way. We just planned a whole bunch of stuff to do, and I still had to work during the day, so we're still trying to wrap it up. I'm hoping that by the end of the day today, we're ready to spend the night in the truck camper and start getting this thing powered down and winterized and everything so we can close it up and leave it behind. It's a catch-22. If we go ahead and winterize this and that forces us over into the truck camper and we're not quite ready for that. If we go another day, then we have to deal with things like dumping another load of black water, and it's like whatever we do, it's going to put us in a little bit of a corner, but the only way out's through it. So let's just get at it.
Well, let's.
Starting with you cleaning the solar panel on the reflection because we need power while we're gone.
Boo! Stage 1's not doing anything harsh, just some soap and water. Gentle rubbing. I'm not crazy with how wet this roof is. I mean, walking around it. Made it worse and soapy. Really stupid to be up here. I can be honest in saying I didn't think today was going to happen. Cody had already said, let's just leave tomorrow night. And I said, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to get on the road. I don't want to live in limbo anymore. It's not that I don't want to be here. I want to either be here or I want to be on the road. We did not stop moving. I mean, Cody had to work, but every moment of his breaks and lunch, we've been moving. And we're almost there. Once again, we're going back with plain old, cheap old charcoal briquettes. It's a whole lot cheaper than those buckets of damp rid.
The last thing we need to do after we've got it all cleaned up and tidy is to winterize it, because here in about 4 or 5 weeks, we start running the chance for some deep freezes. Our system's really easy to winterize. We just put our Nautilus system into the winterize mode, drop a sacrificial hose into a jug of antifreeze, and turn the water pump on. Now I'm gonna send Angela in the house to start opening valves. But before we do that, something I always like to do before I winterize, and it's been a while, so I had to go back to my checklist. I wanted to make sure and pull the plugs out of our Nautilus water heater. Now there's been a lot of controversy around this particular water heater and it freezing up in cold weather, even though it's tankless. It still has water inside the lines. Now we have the newer model, and I've checked my serial number to confirm that this thing will self-heat. When it gets below 38 degrees, it'll shut off when the internals get above 38. However, that's 100% dependent on we have power and propane. Now our battery's fully charged, our solar panel's up there and clean, and we have 2 full tanks of propane. The heat is set on 36 degrees inside. This should take care of itself, but just in case, I am gonna winterize it. But first I pulled both of these plugs out and let it drain for a good 30 minutes. Let all the water I could drip out before we winterize. And I went ahead and pulled the low point drains and let them drain for about 30 minutes. So in theory, there should be very little, if any, water inside of this trailer. But you guys know me, better safe than sorry.
And somewhere in here, I come into play.
Yes. I want to work the system high to low, so the first thing we're going to do is go in there and turn on the shower. We're going to turn on the hot side until you see good pink antifreeze running out, and go ahead and let it run another 10 or 15 seconds. We'll shut it off. We'll go to the code side. We'll go to the sink. We'll go to the toilet, and the kitchen sink we'll probably do dead last because it's at the end of the line.
During this time, we turned our tank heater on to help the furnace with keeping the tanks a little warmer in freezing temps. Then we put our fridge into vacation mode, which simply raises the temperatures but keeps the air circulating, which should prevent it from getting moldy. We proactively emptied it just in case our solar panels can't keep it running. Slides are in, stairs are going up. We're going to go ahead and put some diatomaceous earth around anything touching the ground, our jacks, our tires, around some of these things we have laying out, just in an attempt to try to keep some of the creepy crawlies out of the rig. It's time to go. You ready to go? I always struggle with these charcoal bags. How does this work? From this one. Really?
Drop a sacrificial garden hose into a jug of propane and hit the button.
Jug of antifreeze.
Once again, Garrett and the guys at Duck's Body Shops. Oh, I was holding it low. Once again, Garrett, and then for mine, I put on a black bottle water.
Where did that camera fall? Oh my goodness. There you are.